Welcome. Thanks for coming back, joining me, and I'm here to answer your questions about the Naturally Recovering Autism Membership Program and how it can help you. What is unique about it? What's the difference from maybe many other things you've done? Can it help your child? Yes, it can. Whether they're 5 or 45. I've helped parents all over the world with every age you can imagine, from every level of severity. So it's never too late, and everybody can live a better life. I've seen it over and over, even with kids who the parents were told their children would never speak, and who had worked with functional doctors for years and not gotten any results. And in my program, their children began speaking and are now speaking, many of them endlessly, some parents say. So don't ever listen to a naysayer. Always keep the faith. Remember that anything is possible, and maybe you just haven't, it's not a lack of commitment on your part, it's maybe that you just haven't found the right resources yet. You haven't had the right plan, the right roadmap, and it has not been thorough, and something important was missed. And this is what I see all the time. And one thing I want to make sure that you have the answers you need. So you enroll in the Naturally Recovering Autism Membership Program while the doors are open to it right now for a limited time. Because one of the most precious things that we have is time. And it's one thing we cannot get back. My son wasn't diagnosed until he was almost 10 years old. And we were told when he was diagnosed that we should drug him and try behavioral therapies, and good luck. We would really be managing his symptoms the rest of his life. But fortunately, I have now a 35-year background in craniosacral therapy, studying the brain, and a lot of holistic health background, working with nutritionists and various people over the years. I have so much that I've learned, and I knew that my son could get better. But I didn't know that much about autism. And it is a very, very specific thing. It's not like any other issue going on. There are underlying biological causes to their symptoms. Now, symptoms are just symptoms. And I wrote a blog post, my number 134, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/134. And that says what causes the symptoms of autism, because people think, well, what do you mean by biological, and what do you mean by underlying causes? What is there? And so I took the diagnostic statistical manual that your therapist or expert in autism, supposedly whoever they are, diagnosed your child with, and they have to meet certain criteria. And the criteria are a label of symptoms. And when those symptoms dissipate or disappear, then what do we call it? It doesn't even matter. The label just is a word. What we're looking for is the happiest, healthiest child with the best speech possible, the best ability to focus and learn, independence, so they can hopefully live independent on their own someday, or to the best of their ability, so that they can be able to share their gifts with the world, because they are brilliant, to be able to focus and be calm and relaxed and enjoy life, rather than feeling so stressed out and anxious all the time. And really just having a happier, healthier life and living to their full potential, whatever that may be for them. And we really don't know what that is until everything has done, again, properly and from A to Z very thoroughly. If you missed any part of my free 3-day live event that I just released, the replay is still available for each day for just a couple more days before enrollment closes. So everything for joining what the membership program can offer you, and for enrolling in it right now for the limited time it's still open, and for that same limited amount of time, the replays are still up at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. It's down here on the screen. You can get the link. Go to that page, review. If you watch the 3-stage process, the 4-stage process in the 3 days I shared, review anything over again, or if you missed it completely, go and watch it now, because you still have that chance before the page goes down and it all expires. And so what I did in day 1 was I walked through the first 2 stages of autism recovery. And by the way, today my son's symptoms are gone, completely gone. And I was once told that that was not possible. So you always have to know that anything is possible. He lives a happy, healthy, independent life. He's a college graduate. He has a full-time great job, lives on his own with his buddies. You know, all the things that you wish for your child. Happy, healthy, and definitely living a great life. And so in day one, I went through stages 1 and 2. And that is healing the gut and all that that implies, because that means we've got to get rid of those pathogens and things that are invading the gut and harming it, like candida and eventually parasites and other pathogens. But we really have to balance things out. We have to make sure they're working, we're eating the right diet. And yes, in the download for day one, I gave a free guide to help transition those picky eaters and get some nutrition into them now, which is really the most important part of that. We want to get some nutrition in, because not only is their body starving, but their brain is starving. And if they're just eating gluten and dairy and junk foods, you think, well, they won't eat anything else, they'll starve. Basically, they're starving now, but with a bad diet that's actually harming them further. You can slowly transition them. It is a process, but I give some resources to help you on that, and many more inside of the membership program. My diet page isn't just about, some foods you can have and some to avoid. Of course, it contains all of that, but it also gives you all of the other underlying pieces you need to know about diet that most people miss. I mean, there are other foods like oxalates and histamines that are triggers for other causes of behavioral symptoms, anxiousness, sleep disorders, all of these things that can be caused by a food that might even be a healthy food. They also, some of these things can damage the gut lining. Some of the toxins in them really, really damage the gut lining and are very neurologically damaging as well. We want to make sure that they're having some support, foundational support. I talked about toxin binders, because even as we transition away from the bad foods, and their body is literally addicted to those, remember that as we transition away from those bad foods, they are able to have their gut and their brain work better, because there are things called neurotransmitters that are made in the gut, serotonin and dopamine, if you've heard of those, and they need to be able to be built in the gut. 95% of serotonin is built in the gut. And so that has to travel to the brain. Well, what does that do for the brain? Why does that matter in the gut? Well, what matters there most is that serotonin and dopamine are responsible for things like mood stability, your brain's ability to stabilize and stay calm and basically in a homeostasis place, and be able to focus and have ability, more again, learning and ability to appetite, satiety, if they're hungry constantly, which also can be a side effect of parasites. And I cover that in day 2 with our stage 3. But and then we will also want to make sure that mood, focus, sleep, appetite, all of these things are affected by the gut. Again, yes, sleep is a big one. So we want to cover all of that. And then heavy metal detoxification, I talked about safe and natural heavy metal detoxification. Again, you've got the toxin binders and things to help support the detox pathways as you're working forward, so that your child can minimize those die-off or detox symptoms I talked about in day 1. And again, go back and review that while the page is still up if you missed that at all, because it's really important. A lot of parents say, well, my child got so much worse when I tried to detoxify them. And that is common. I hear that story all the time. You have to start with one thing, and one thing only at a time, every few days or so, even further out. If they're having any symptoms, don't increase or add anything new. Start at the very, very lowest dosage, not even what's labeled on the bottle or on the supplement. You want to start at the minimal amount, because their bodies are very, very sensitive. Like I said, autism is very, very special. It's sensitive and it's specific, and you have to know what to do. So I have done that research. It's taken me, it took me 10 years with my son, and now I have 19 years of research in autism specifically that I'm sharing with you in this program. I have researched every supplement in depth to make sure it is the best of the best for our children's specific needs. So you're not having to hunt and peck around the internet anymore, or trying to read various books, or, you can do all those things if you want, but I give you the answers. You have the answers and the solutions. And it is step by step, so you can follow them in a sequential order that is very specifically laid out, because that sequence is how it is done most effectively, but also the safest way. So this is what we need to do, because as I mentioned, we're getting into stage 2 is natural, safe heavy metal detoxification versus the dangerous pharmaceutical drug called DMSA that allows for a reabsorption of toxins as they're trying to be excreted. It allows for it pulls good minerals like calcium and magnesium that we need. So it's really important to make sure that you're using something safe and natural that actually works. We don't want a redistribution of those heavy metals throughout the bloodstream and back into the brain, causing further problems. And then stage 3 is what we talked about in day 2. Again, if you're going back and looking at the videos, in day 2, I talked about stages 3 and 4. And those are clearing the co-infections of autism and then brain support and repair last. And so once we get to, stabilizing the foundation, we've done a little bit of, heavy metal detox at the same time. What I use is so safe and natural that you can move on into the co-infections and more pathogen fighters, what can really target getting rid of some of that excess candida and really work for you finally, because I know you've probably had various things like diflucan and other things you've used that are usually temporary. And then you think, oh, my child got better for a while, but then it all came back. We need to make sure that what we're using is long-term and safe and effective. And that's what I have in my program for you. And you need my guidance using it. So I won't be throwing out names of supplements and here and there. I take this very responsibly, because again, the stages are done in a sequential order to make sure that the foundation is set right away. I even had a brand new member who's already joined this week say that her child was on a new supplement, were having a lot of bad reactions. And I said, that's because their foundational aspects are not stabilized yet. And they need some toxin binders, and we need to get some support in place first before you can get into those, pathogen fighters and causing a bit more die-off. So, the co-infections are things like mold biotoxins. Making sure your home is mold-free is very, very important. Mold, Lyme mimics the symptoms of autism, Lyme disease. And it's tick bites, mosquitoes, horseflies, a lot of different things these days, sand fleas. And it can also be passed in utero from mom and through breast milk. So if mom has it, the child has it as well. And so mold, Lyme, strep infections, which can trigger PANS, but mold and Lyme also trigger PANS, that autoimmune issue where the autoimmune system is actually combating and attacking the brain. And so you see these really heightened behaviors of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, clinginess and fearfulness. And, they have this like regression, and, they can't handwrite anymore. They can maybe have trouble regressing in speech again. And so we have to do these things slowly and safely. So we make sure that we don't throw them into a PANS flare, and we have to make sure we're getting to the triggers, the foods, the mold, the Lyme. And then, of course, never forget about parasites. We definitely have to work with those, again, safely, effectively, and properly, because they are definitely challenging. As I mentioned in day 2, when I talked about all of this, is that the testing for the co-infections and many of these pathogens is very inaccurate. You can have a test come out negative when your child is actually positive, and you don't know it because the test came out negative. So you think, well, my child doesn't have that, so I guess I don't need to work on that. Well, things like especially Lyme and parasites are very commonly not found in tests. And if they are found, they're worked with improperly. They throw a lot of antibiotics at them, and most are antibiotic resistant. These things need to be worked with effectively. I do this safely and naturally in my program, and I guide you through that process with the exact very specific supplements that work on those. They target them, and you'll know what to do and how to use them. You get my direct support inside of the membership program as well. So if you're wondering, well, what if I have a question? What if this goes on for my child or something comes up? How do I, can I contact you? There is a forum inside of the membership site that you can ask me your questions 24/7 anytime, and I get back to you within 24 hours. We have all members ask the questions there, because our community is a community, and all parents need the same support, and they're asking often the same questions. And if they don't have that question come up right now that you're asking, it's very common that it will come up for them in the future. So we want everybody to learn from the questions and answers that are asked in there. We also, of course, have a frequently asked question page that's there for anybody anytime as well. But the forum is a wealth of information from past archived Q&A that are living in there as well. And you can ask me your child specific question if you have one anytime you need. Plus, we have a live monthly call where we come on. You can ask me your questions, and I will answer them live like this. And that's another additional method of support. And some people say, why do you do brain support repair last? Why is it stage 4? And that is because I have helped so many parents, and it's my own story, that when we start therapies early, when our child still got a lot of toxicity and pathogens, infections, things going on, basically a lot of inflammation that's on their brain, then their brain is not able to function well. I shared a story about a boy who was, in first grade, diagnosed with autism at age 2. In first grade, he was given an IQ by the school, an IQ test. His parents were told he just wasn't smart. He had a very low IQ. Well, fast forward, he got mold and Lyme worked with effectively after his mom had tested 10 times for Lyme and it came up negative, and she knew he's got to have it because she knew she had it. So again, with the testing. And so he was worked with properly and to get these things out of the way. Today he is in medical school. Yes, he wants to be an immunologist because he doesn't want other children and people to suffer like he did as a child with doctors that didn't know the answers, and the years that his mom and he lost with him being so sick and suffering. And he was quite ill. He was able to get his life back. And that's what we want for your child. These things can be worked with, and we'll find out what their optimum results are. And in day 3, I shared a mom story that she shared in video, so you can watch it yourself. And her name is Karen, and her son was 27 when she found me. She had been trying for 25 years. He had been diagnosed at age 2. He had been nonverbal all these years until she came into the program. At age 27, he was still nonverbal. And she starts doing the sequence in my program, and he starts talking, and he starts finishing reading books with her. And she is just like, she says, it's music to my ears. And you can imagine that it would be music to your ears, right? All those years that I think, if she had found my program, if she had had these resources back then when her son was 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 or 15 or 18, right? All those years. That was my story. I felt like I lost so many years with my son, because not lost them, but he wasn't able to be happy. And we have such a fun, enjoyable, peaceful time together now. And he's just so enjoyable to be with. And it was hard back then. There were times when it was very behavioral and things would happen, outbursts all the time and unexpectedly. And you never knew from minute to minute what might happen. Well, all of that is gone today. And it's just such a nice way to have a relationship with him, and also to see him being who he is and being such a happy, calm, easygoing guy, because that's who he really is. I always say your child is not an angry person. It is that these toxins and inflammation and things are on their brain and causing these behaviors. And so we can work with the underlying causes, and then the symptoms, which are the behaviors, can reduce and even dissipate and even disappear for many. So that's what our goal is. Stage 4, my son was in therapies at first, social and behavior kind. They told me, try these. So I thought, okay. And, I tried things for a while and nothing was working. And he was frustrated because we knew how brilliant he was, but he used to say, Mom, I want to, but I can't. Why can't I? And he ended up, I even finally had this conversation over and over with the therapist. I said, this isn't working. She's like, well, just try it a little longer. And I said, look, this is not working. I'm bringing him over and over. It's frustrating him. I'm spending a lot of time and a lot of money on things that are not working here. I pulled him out, And I did all the work that I'm teaching you in the membership program on him, worked with all these underlying causes. Jacob never needed to go back to those therapies again. He never needed them. I also share in day 3, Nanti, a mom that I helped in my membership program, shared her story about her son. And he was in speech therapies, $95 a week, and other therapies and other things that she was doing, not getting better. When she joined my program, she started to work with the underlying causes. So she decided, okay, rather than spending this $95 a week on the speech therapy, why don't I do some of this work first and then see how he does? And if they need to go back at the end of all of the work to some therapy, if they have some little innuendos left over to really fine tune, then fine. But my son never needed to go back to them at all. Nanti's son never, ever needed to go back to speech therapy. His speech is great now. He's independent now, where he was once fearful of being left alone. He used to be anxious all the time. Now he's calm and relaxed, and he's great. And she says he never needed to go back to those therapies. That was, again, just one piece of many things that she was doing, but $95 a week, that came out to over $4,500 a year that she was spending on speech therapy alone. And I'm sure you're used to this story. And if you follow my program step by step from the beginning and all the way through and be thorough, I also teach you how to clean up your home. You have to make sure there aren't external triggers in your home that might be causing their reactions and their toxicity to remain. Mold is a big one. I teach you about all of these things in the program. I have pages where you'll teach you home health environment. Again, another bonus I'm even offering right now is my home environment protection manual. So you can it's a 15-page guide, not only giving you the pieces of what to look for in your environment, but then the solutions for them. Because I'm all about solutions. I don't want you to be overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, there's so many things to do. What do I do? Step by step. You're used to probably chaos, jumping around, or thinking you have to do more, find something else because you're really wanting results fast. And I get that. I appreciate your eagerness to help your child. But it's about now having a streamlined step-by-step process that you walk through in the sequential order and just follow it down the line on your child's timeline. No two children are exactly the same. So it's very important that you do it on your child's timeline, because some children can progress a little bit faster, and then others who have maybe a little bit more toxicity, their detox pathways need more support and strength before they can move forward. These kinds of things can cause a child to have some more detox reactions as you're maybe implementing a new supplement. And so as you do that, and again, I link to the very specific supplements you need in the program, and you purchase them along the way from the sites they come from, not me. And then but I've well researched, these are the best of the best to use for that specific area in the sequence. And so as you stabilize them, you watch your child to see if they're able to progress to the next supplement yet or not. So again, it's done on your timeline. You'll get, when you join, you have immediate access 24/7 to the membership site with your privacy login details. When you go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, you pick the annual or monthly payment plan that works for you. You have an option. You choose your choice there. Once you fill out the very short, simple form and hit submit, within 5 minutes, you will have an email from me in your inbox. So look for my email. If you don't see it, check your spam folder. It'll be there. We also want to help with other additional questions if you have them at support@naturallyrecoveringautism.com. But we are here to get you results and stop wasting that time that's precious, and get that time back with your child now. Because again, we don't get that back. My son was diagnosed, like I said, till age 10. And I had, many years where I could have been working with him had I known more. And then even 10 more years that it took me to figure it out and do all the trial and error and a lot of expense, that I'm here to save you because I've already done the work. I've already done the research. I have personal experience with my own son. I've lived it. And I want to save you the time of having to do that or figure it out. I know how overwhelming it is to have a child with autism, and you have enough on your plate. You don't have to be trying to figure this out. I have done it. I've gone before you and done the work, and now I give it to you. I lay it out in a streamlined process. And so within 5 minutes, you'll have your email with your login details and the first few steps to show you know what to do. You jump into the membership site, and there's a short start here page and an introduction page. It gives you kind of a lay of the land, and then you start with the step one from the quick guide to getting started. It'll show you where to go. We start with the toxin binders page and get those going first, because we really want to make sure that the body is stabilized and has support in place first. That's really, really important. So it gives you all of these things. Within minutes, you'll have full access, and it can be done on your phone, on a laptop, on a computer. All you need is Wi-Fi. I have parents in over 40 countries, in small villages in Africa, everywhere doing this successfully. And so you can too. And I'm here to guide you and support you on the journey. I see a question here. So hi, Lisa and Linda. Because I'm all about solutions, I don't want overwhelmed. There's so many things to do. What do I do? Something else, because you're really wanting results. I appreciate your, she's, somehow that's back, repeating back what I said. Anyway, it is, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. It's true. That is true. You're already overwhelmed, and I don't want you to have to be that way anymore. There were times when I worried about my own health, even because of the stress, that 24/7 kind of pressure, and the worry about my son's future, and how will he be when he's older? How will he be? Will he be able to live on his own? Will he be able to live independently? What will his life be like? All those things run through your head, right? You wonder and wonder and worry, sleepless nights. And I know I can relate. I have lived it. And I'm here to tell you there are solutions, and you can help get your child better. I will guide you in this process and support you to help you work with those underlying causes that are causing those symptoms. So you can learn all about it now in the membership program. I offer it now. Enrollment, again, is open right now for a limited time, and make sure you join before enrollment closes. And also on the same page where you can join at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, you can also look at the 3-day event that I just did, and either review or watch the first time if you happen to miss it. Review any of it or watch it now at that same page where the membership sign up enrollment page is, because that way, if you miss something or you want to review it again or try to remember, in day 3, I walk through the specifics of the membership program in more depth for you. And I also give you, show those videos of those moms sharing, that mom, Karen, who shared about her 27-year-old son's talking for the first time and reading books with her. And then the other mom, Nanti, talking about how she was really worried about her son's future and would he ever be able to be independent? What would happen when she was old? She says, I'm worried what was going to happen someday when I'm old and I can't take care of him. Well, now her biggest concern was, is he ever going to be able to live independently? Back then, she really didn't know. She was trying everything and nothing was working. Today, he is fully independent, happy, healthy, and doing great. And she knows he's got a bright future ahead. And all of that worry and sleepless nights has been washed away. I'm here to support you, and I have done the work for you. I've gone ahead for you, and I give it to you in this program, and is the best way, absolutely, that I can help you thoroughly and properly is in the membership program. So please join now while enrollment is still open, and make sure that you save yourself the time and the expense of additional therapies and practitioners and supplements you don't know how to use, and things that aren't working, and hopping around, or somebody's got a little bits and pieces of the program I have in full, but they don't have it all. This is an A to Z, very, very thorough step-by-step program. So with the support and the guidance that you need and you deserve. So I'm here to support you on the journey and help make it easier, help save you time, help save you money, and give you that support that you need and guide you on the way. So please join the program. Now, again, while enrollment is open for a very limited time, go to naturalrecoveringautism.com/go. I hope this has been helpful for you. Any additional questions are very likely answered on the page, again, at naturalrecoveringautism.com/go. We've got things written out there for you to give you more steps inside the program, and I also go through it in day 3 of the 3-day event, which the replays are there available to you again if you wanted to watch those or review anything that I mentioned here, because it's all there for you on the same page. Okay, it looks like I've answered the questions. Why is autism more prevalent in males than females, Angela? Because males have testosterone, higher testosterone, and testosterone, when it is combined with toxicity, is much makes the toxins much worse. And the other thing is that females have a surge, especially in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy and in the first kind of several months, but a year or so of after birth of life. They have a surge of estrogen, and estrogen is brain protective. And so that protection is there against the environmental and external toxins that their body is being invaded with. And so, we get toxins again in utero, from mom and dad, and exposure mom even has just, by living on planet Earth, as I talk about in the event as well, the toxins in our air, food, water, other things that we have, exposures. And so these toxins are exacerbated with testosterone, and the protective estrogen in girls is brain protective. So they have a little bit more defense, or quite a bit more defense there in that way for protection. So yeah, it is common to see that. It's about 1 in 4, 1 in 4 1 to 4 ratio of girls to boys. So girls boys are much more likely to have autism. That is very common, but not unending. There are plenty of girls now with it, but it is much more common in boys. So thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. And we have answers and solutions for you inside the membership program for everything. I cover it, again, very thoroughly. You have very short PDF, very short, no fluff videos. They're less than 5 minutes long to explain why. There's text. So if you learn better in text, there's text with things written out, including PDF guides to all of the different things that come up along the way in the autism journey that you're going to need answers to. Again, I've put my heart and soul into this program. It has been running for over 9 years strong now, very, very successfully. And I'm very proud of it and how much it has helped so many people. And that's what I really want, is to see it help you. That is what's so important. William, insurance doesn't cover a lot of things. It doesn't cover, you can check with your insurance, but it's not covered in these things. But in this program, it doesn't cover the program. But what you want to look at is what's your copay? What are you paying already for the copay at practitioners that you might have been seeing that things aren't working for you? How much money have you spent on supplements or medications that are not helping your child, or are also maybe doing harm? Because a lot of medications have really negative side effects. You need to know how to use the supplements given as well. So think of all the money that you really spent on things that didn't work and how much this can save you in the long run. It literally comes out to about $3 a day, which is less now than the price of a Starbucks coffee or a latte. It's just it's really, really, I've been able, and I've worked hard, because there's a lot that goes into behind keeping all of the tech and everything going, and the support involved in this whole program and in the site and everything. And and I've done my best to keep the price as low as absolutely possible to help you as a parent on the journey. So the goal with giving you the straightforward and streamlined plan is to save you time and money. You don't want to do any more wasted expenses. So it is very, very much worth it. It's an investment. This is not a cost. Always remember that. This is an investment in your child's life, and they are 100% worth it. And I know you know that, but you think of where your money is best spent and how it's been being spent, and is that giving you answers and how that's been working for you. I mean, something brought you here, and what I don't know why you came here exactly. Were you looking for more answers? Your child's plateaued and you really believe they could get better, but they haven't. You're wondering what was missing. That's what I offer you too. Have you needed an A to Z program? Because what you've gotten before was maybe a little bit of diet and some detox, but really, that was all. And there wasn't an A to Z. There wasn't a roadmap, a full roadmap. There wasn't a plan, a full plan. There wasn't, somebody who had the entire A to Z. And this is common because there isn't. And that's why I created this program and why it's unique. And these are all the things that I offer you in it. And that's what you're going to get in this membership program. My aim is to help you get the absolute best results for your child that are possible, and to help you on this journey and get the support that you need to know what to do and how to do it. And again, if you go to naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go, all you have to do is choose the price option that works for you, click on it. Within a minute of submitting your information, then you'll be getting an email from me in to look for my email. It should be there within 5 minutes. If you don't see it, look in your spam folder to make sure it's not there. But it should be there within 5 minutes, and then it'll have your login details, and you can jump right into the membership program. And it'll start, there's very short videos that will give you a little lay of the land, so you start learning what to do and know how to do it. And of course, the membership forum is always there 24/7 for you to ask me your questions, and if you need that. I'm here to help you and support you, and again, help your child live their best life possible and help you to bring that to them. Because you as a parent are the key to your child's success. It is not up to a practitioner. It is not up to anybody else. You have to be able and willing to implement, but I can give you the steps that get results, and I want you to be able to do it without the overwhelm or trying to search for the answers, because I've already done the work for you, a lot of work for you. And I bring a lot of years of experience in many categories of holistic health in for you to help you on the journey as well. We're doing biomedical treatments, Lisa, with a functional pediatrician. This sounds very similar to our program. It may sound similar, but I can tell you, everyone who's come in here has worked with any type of functional medical doctor. Anybody has said, wow, I never knew about this before, or wow, I never knew about this before. There are things in this program that are different. In day, I think one or two, I mentioned, I think it was two, Mom Mary, and she did a podcast with me, and you can listen to it, naturallyrecoveringautism.com/182. And Mary, when she found me, her son, Kevin, she shares this story in that podcast. Kevin was 13 years old. He was biting and kicking kids and hitting them hiding underneath his desk at school. 13 years old, right? This is an elementary school. This isn't a 5 or 6-year-old. This is a 13-year-old. She's constantly being called by the teachers at school to come pick him up. She's missing work. She's worried about Kevin ever being able to, get educated, because he couldn't even stay in school. And so she had been working with a functional medical doctor for 4 years and not gotten results. And she literally told me I was at the end of my rope. I did not know what else I was going to do. She found my program and decided, I've got to try something else. I've got to get results. I got to do something for Kevin. So she joined the program. And within the first year in the program, Kevin had just tremendous results, life-changing, calming, happier, getting better and better all the time. She stayed in because that's what I say. This is a process, right? This isn't a Band-Aid or a quick fix. She stayed in the program. Well, she continued on. 3 years later now, Kevin's 16 years old. He is now on the honor roll at school. He is the teen leader in his summer youth camp. She says the kids love him. He's happy, he's calm, he's healthy. She always says he's so happy and he's so calm now. This was not his story 3 years ago. And when she found me, she'd been working with somebody for 4 years, a functional medical doctor, and Kevin was kicking and hiding and biting kids from underneath his desk. That's where she got in 4 years with that person. And so I always say, we can never guarantee results, but what I can say is that people who've worked with a lot of people in the past and not gotten results have gotten results in my program. So it is definitely, definitely worth it to try, and at far less than you're going to spend in a year with any functional medical doctor. And that's why I just guide you. I guide you in the process, and I give you the steps and the to follow, and you just follow the sequence. And then we'll find out what your child's best results can be, because everything has been done the right way, thoroughly, again, properly, A to Z, and that's the differences that are what's in the program and how it's done, and the complete thoroughness of it that make all the difference, really. So join the program. You'll see what I mean. Commit to at least a year and know what your results can be. You're going to be doing this work anyway, so why not know what else you can do, or what really needs to be done that's been missed so far? And that's where I can help save you a lot of time and a lot of expense in the future that you didn't have if you didn't join the program and know what was there for you and how this could work. So that is my goal. I want to help everybody in the best way that I can, and that is definitely through the membership program. Grace, your son is 4 years old, almost 5, and he bites and beats kids at school and has a speech delay. I'll join the program. I am so, so glad you're joining the program, Grace, because again, at age 5, biting and kicking and hitting other kids, and that aggression, remember, your son is not an angry person. He's not a violent person. He's not, just an aggressive person by nature. It's that the toxins and the inflammation and the things on his brain are causing these behaviors. And we can definitely work with them naturally and safely and get him better. And he deserves that life. He deserves, I look at the story of Kevin, what I just shared. He's 16 now. What if Mary hadn't joined my program? What if she kept doing what she was doing that wasn't working? She knew she had to do something else. And where would Kevin be today at age 16? He could be not hiding and biting kids under the desk at 16, 18, 20, being violent. That is not who he was. It's not who my son was. It's not who your son is. It is just a symptom of these things that we can work with naturally and safely. These toxins, infections, and things that are getting in the way of the brain and causing these behaviors. So I'm so, so glad, Grace, that you're joining, and welcome. You will be happy that you did. I know that you will. Again, it's really satisfying to watch somebody come in new, and then over the months, the progression and things that are happening from the very beginning to what happens with the transitions that the kids make, because we even have a short, share your milestones place in a separate part of the forum where parents share things that have happened for their kids. And it's just so rewarding to see, oh, my child is speaking more, or my child is able to write now when mom or daughter in high school couldn't write at all. And through my program, she's like, she's able to, she's writing, and she's wrote her teacher a poem, and her teacher's like, what are you doing at home? Like, how is this possible? She couldn't even hold a pen, a couple months ago, and now she's writing everywhere. And I mean, this is the transformation, that's what we want to see. So if you want to know about the membership, Lisa, and all about it, and your everything, the price options, what it does for you, everything is at naturallyrecoveringautism.com/go. So go to that page now and make sure you join before enrollment closes. It's a limited time. Join the program, but the the amount that it is there. Again, it's an investment. You got to remember it in your mindset too, right? I'm here to save you the time and the money of expenses on other things that are unnecessary or not working. Then you can look at the page. We have some things written out about what you get in the program. But if also in day 3 of the 3-day event, I walk through the the what is in the membership site and how it works in a little bit more detail if that's helpful for you. And in days 1 and 2, I talk more about, like I said, stages 1 through 4, it's my 4-stage process. So you can learn all about that now. Again, naturalrecoveringautism.com/go. All right. So Lisa, I hope to see you in the program, the membership program, and to help you. And I look forward to everybody joining us and all of the many, many new members we already have that have joined even just this week alone, because they're just, everybody's seeing the benefits. They're joining, and it's exciting to see how many people are going to be getting the results in the future. And I look forward to seeing your results with your child too. So, and being able to support you on the journey. So thank you again for being here, for what you're doing. Join the program today. It is open for you for a limited time. Go right now is the right time, right? Say, when is the right time? Right now is the right time. naturalrecoveringautism.com/go. It is the best way I can help you. Nothing, no book, no blog post, no podcast, none of that's going to be as thorough or step-by-step or as complete as the membership program. It is bar none the best. So go join now at naturalrecoveringautism.com/go, and I will see you on the inside. Take care and have a great day.